Hey guys, welcome back to the Crypto Wave. Wanted to give a quick update. So today was the day we were waiting for. Today was the day that we got the white paper for the piggy bank, and we had an AMA. And I'm actually just joking. So there was an AMA today. There was no piggy bank white paper released, which is fine. I listened to the AMA. I missed some of it because I was at work and my internet at work kind of blows. So some of it I did miss, but it didn't give a whole lot of information that we didn't already know. So one thing that we learned, so big information for today that we need to know. One, piggy bank is going to technically release Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's not actually going to be able to open for deposit. The plan is going to be the contracts are going to be released, the UI is going to be released. Everybody can kind of look at it, fiddle around, get your referral links, send them out, kind of basically play around and kind of get used to it. And then 2 days from then, so now we're talking till Tuesday, Wednesday, so Thursday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when it'll actually activate. He's going to activate those contracts. And that's when you can actually deposit and start earning things. What does that change for us? Well, not a whole lot. Actually, really the only thing it changes for me is that I'll actually be off work. So that actually works out even better for me. It also gives us a day that we can fiddle around and kind of look at the UI and kind of get familiar with it. So I'll do a video on that when the time comes. The other thing he released is it's going to be very similar to Drip, the Drip Garden, in the manner, not entirely, but in the manner of you are in essence are getting a token that can then be utilized for LP. That's going to be called the piglets. And what that generates is truffles, because the piglets are seeking out truffles. Those truffles then can be compounded back into more piglets. So very similar to Drip Garden with the whole seed plant thing. So you guys should be pretty familiar with that already. He did go over, I was hoping he was going to go over the percentages, but the one good thing he actually mentioned was on the UI interface, when you put in the value and the time that you want to stake for, it's actually going to tell you what that bonus is going to be. So if we go over to my sheet here, so really what it's going to do is when I put in 2 years and I put in the date that I want it, or this is the date that I'm locked, but if I put in for 2 years with the release date, the interface is actually going to say what your final payout will be should you see it through this whole 2-year stake. So that's actually pretty beneficial. So I don't need to calculate diddly squat because I don't really have plans on exiting my stakes early. That's the reason I'm trying to set this up the way I am with a 2-year, 1 year, and then 2 months lined up for 8 weeks. So that way I get one released every week after that. So I'm not really tripping. I don't need to calculate what I'm going to get per day and all that kind of stuff. However, obviously on the UI interface, when it's open, you're going to be able to see what your stake is going to be each day with that bonus and everything applied to it. So he did say once again, which we already knew, you're going to get the average of 3% a day on your principal based on if you are compounding on or more times than the piggy bank as a whole. So we kind of already knew that information. He also mentioned the whole algorithm, the inverse of the theta decay equation, which in essence means the first 70% of the stake, you get 30% of the reward, and then it exponentially increases to the end of it. So don't expect huge value. So in reality, what that means is for 2 years, if we divide that into a 70-30, we can actually figure this out right now. Let's see. So 365 times 2, and we'll say divided by 70%. So the first 511 days, it'll be a slow kind of trickle of bonus. And then after that 511th day, it starts exponentially going up so that you actually start gaining majority of your bonuses at the end of your stake. So that's actually super beneficial for these values here. It'll be beneficial for these 2-month stakes as well. But it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm really curious to see what the gains I'm going to get withdrawn. If those bonuses are significant, he still hasn't given those bonuses, then I really want to see what these values are going to be. If I can kind of take profit and then restake that $500 into the next 2 months, or is this going to be a final payout of say like 1,000, and I can stake 750, pull 250 out, for my revenue. I realize, but that way I'm kind of compounding but getting gains as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what these final payouts are going to be based on the bonuses and things like that. So what else did he mention? Piggy bank, piglets, truffles, bonuses, releasing Tuesday, play around with the farm. He talked a lot about the referrals. So if you guys aren't part of Drip, which I don't do a whole lot of referrals, to be honest with you, but he says it's going to be similar to this kind of interface down here, in the fact that you can have teams and you'll be able to, there's going to be a table that basically says, hey, here's everybody who's used your referral, all their addresses and everything, and how long they're staked for. And he says the reason for that is it's actually a pretty genius idea in reality. So if somebody, say, as a YouTuber like myself, if I were pushing for referrals, which I don't, I could say, hey, anybody who uses my referral stakes for 6 months, $500. I will then airdrop you, another $300 staked for 6 months or something along those lines. So you can actually do your airdrops based on certain criteria and things. And then he says the interface will actually have where you can put in the address, put in the time, put in the amount, and then send it to them, and it'll automatically stake for them. Honestly, probably the only thing I'm going to use that for is similar to this. This is actually a wallet that I've created for my family that I bought some drip on. And I've just been compounding it because my family thinks I'm crazy that I'm in crypto. But in reality, as I compound this and I can start withdrawing, I think we will know who has the last laugh. So what I may end up doing is I may end up just staking some onto this particular wallet, maybe sending some airdrops to it. That way my family has some piggy bank stakes that are kind of long-term and working their magic there. So short of that, there's some stuff coming, but that's kind of the biggest thing about piggy bank and things. So that's actually good news for me. We can go over the UI interface in the next coming days to prepare ourselves for Thursday when it actually releases. Now, just as we always do, let's talk about the animal farm and where we're at. So let's jump over here. So obviously AMA with Bartertown today with the piggy bank update. Price did go down a little bit. Obviously people are probably pulling profits. No big deal. One thing I'm super impressed with is almost a $5 increase of this dog token, which is actually pretty dang good. And if you look over here, we actually increased with 107 new wallets holding dogs, and the value of staking continues to go up. So people, I think, are starting to realize that dogs, the true potential, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, or if this is just a byproduct of the piggy bank coming. So that's huge. Now you'll notice that this value here, this is the 43 cents, average 43 cents per pig per day in the piggy bank. And I believe the reason that went up a little bit is the same reason as it always does. Anytime this trade volume goes up, this volume goes up. Until the fees and everything start building, because each day this treasury goes down. That's simply because he talked about it today. There's not everything, all the potential of this treasury is built on dog and pig fees, as well as trade value, and then also on longevity. The longer this goes, the more people we have joining, the more things are locked up in the farm, the more this will start becoming self-sustaining. He's been injecting funds into this. That's why we have these red days here and there. So he's been injecting funds into it, but at a certain point, it is going to be self-sufficient. And holding pigs in here is actually going to be where you're going to start getting that value. The percentage did go down. Again, not a shocker. We are getting ready for the piggy bank that's going to be released here pretty soon. So I'm not super surprised on this. There was something else I wanted to mention, and it has slipped my mind. The amount of pig holders. So if there wasn't enough hype, and if you don't think the piggy bank is going to explode on that first day, just look at this. 393 new people holding pigs. That is the biggest uptick in pig holders since this has started. We had a really good day over here. This was when he added some stuff into the treasury, but 393 is by far the first day that has the most pig holders at this point. So I'm very bullish this value. I didn't pull any pigs out of my pig pen. I'm going to keep them in there. And then with the piggy bank, I'm hoping to actually start increasing and becoming more of this locked up pig value here. So my pig pen at the moment, you know what? I'm actually on the wrong wallet. Bear with me 1 second here. Let's go over here. Let's go to my main account. Let's refresh this. Make sure it's connected. Good. Pig pen. So I have 28 pig pen in here. I haven't harvested in a while. I'm not really worried. Usually I harvest this when I add my pigs in. So I'm just going to let this sit for a bit. And as I start gaining more pigs from piggy bank or whatever the case is, I'll start, when I add into here, it'll harvest this automatically. So, okay. And with that, that's that. Hope that is a good update for you. I'll do another video in the next day or two once that UI comes up, and hopefully that white paper comes up also. And I hope all is well. Get ready for the piggy bank. It's going to be, I honestly think it's going to be huge. I think it's actually going to be bigger than this drip garden. And as people start FOMOing in from not getting on that first day, or even people that got in that first day and are compounding the bejesus out of it to get those bonuses, I think we're going to start seeing this pig rise even further. So all good news on the animal farm front. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop comments below. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It's very appreciative. I'm almost to 600 subscribers, which is amazing. I've been thinking about it, and I really probably should do some type of a giveaway if I get up into that maybe like that 1,000 mark. That's a pretty big mark for me, considering I've been doing this for years, and I don't try to push it out. This is really just because I enjoy crypto and I enjoy doing these videos and talking to everybody. But we'll do some kind of a giveaway perhaps when I get up to that 1,000 follower mark. Probably Animal Farm related, to be honest with you. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Everybody stay safe out there and have a good night.